Central Oregon is home to more than 700 caves. Most are homes for the bat population. Katie Tunig is here now with more on the relationship between bats and caves. Katie?
Lee, I visited a couple of caves and learned that of the 15 known bat species we have in the state, 14 are here in Central Oregon. Most of them depend on our caves.
You may look at a cave and think it's just rocks and dirt in there, but it's actually one of the most fragile ecosystems that we have.
Ours are lava tube caves, so they were formed when hot lava went through and solidified as they cooled.
Caves and their ecosystem are considered by scientists to be among the most fragile ecosystems on the planet. Caves are a non-renewable resource and they take millions of years to form.
If we do something inside a cave, that is going to be there forever unless we go in and remove that piece of trash or graffiti or whatever we might take into a cave.
There's no process in place to restore damage done to a cave like we see above ground with sunlight and other forms of energy.
The impacts you're having on that site aren't going to be obvious. It's not like walking through a wildflower meadow and trampling the flowers where you can definitely see the effects of your actions.
This is why bats are crucial for caves.
So bats are incredibly important to our cave ecology because they bring in nutrients into the cave environment, and those nutrients are what feed some of the other flora and fauna that are within the cave.
Brock McCormick told me all of Central Oregon bats eat insects.
They spend their summers eating as many insects as they can. Some bats, like the little brown myotis, which is a really common bat we've got, they're capable of eating 1,000 bugs in 1 hour.
The deep parts of caves require animals like bats to go above ground, collect nutrients, and bring them back into the cave.
They bring in this energy system with their guano that feeds centipedes and spiders and sometimes salamanders that live their whole lifetime in a cave. And so they have to get their nutrients from somewhere, and bats help provide that.
Lori Turner told me they're working with OSU Bat Hub to monitor any changes in bat population with a system called NA-BAT.
It's an acoustic monitoring protocol that we follow to determine if there are increases or decreases in bat populations. And the findings of those surveys or that monitoring thus far is that many of our species are in decline.
I asked what the impacts would be if the population continues on a decline.
Our pest population, our insect pests, things like that, they start to increase. And so then how we deal with that is that we have to use more pesticides, insecticides, things like that. So it's kind of a vicious circle. We would rather have it done naturally than us put chemicals out on the landscape.
The increase in population and recreation in Central Oregon is having an impact on this delicate ecosystem.
This last year, with the COVID and more people getting outside, we saw a 40% increase of visitation on the Deschutes National Forest. And that's on top of really what we have documented, about 5 million visits to the Deschutes National Forest every year.
Which is a great thing, people getting outside, enjoying what Central Oregon has to offer. But we have seen that come at a cost, especially to places that are fragile, like caves.
If we do not understand the cave ecology and the fragility of the cave environment, we could actually harm the cave. Bats rely on caves for hibernation in the winter.
They're on a really tight energy budget to survive through the winter off the fat that they've built up over the summer. And if they're disturbed too often, even just a handful of disturbance events through the winter could be a matter of life or death for these bats.
And raising their pups in the summer.
Yeah, so another thing about bats is that they're very slow to respond to disturbance. Bats produce 1 pup per season. So when you impact a bat population, that effect takes a long time to rebuild those numbers.
Jean Nelson Dean said, it's important to be respectful and remember that's the wildlife's home.
One of the terms we like to use is respectful recreation. We want our visitors to enjoy, experience, but also learn and take care of these resources for us. Everyone that comes and visits and enjoys these are also stewards.
If you'd like to see this special report in full, I'll post it on our website, ktvz.com, later tonight.